Hey, sports fans, we're back at it again, and this time we're taking a look at one of the fastest athletes in any profession, Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill and his ridiculous workout and diet that fuels him. But before we get into the man that calls himself Cheetah, do me a quick favor, click that subscribe button. All done? All right, on to our video. The first thing you think of when it comes to Tyreek Hill is speed. In stats, Tyreek Hill has been consistently clocked as one of the fastest ball carriers in the entire league, year in, year out. So, when we look at his 4.29 40-yard dash, that blistering time may not even do Hill justice. But how did he get to be so fast? Tyreek has said that he didn't know he was fast until he was getting chased as a youth, whether that was in fun and games or by stray dogs, where he grew up in Georgia when he was 6 years old. Some of his cousins and his friends were as old as 12, but Tyreek said that fear made him run faster and he outran everyone. Now, although Tyreek may have his fair share of off-the-field issues, when he's on the field, there is no question about his productivity and effectiveness in the Chiefs' offense, and as good as Patrick Mahomes is, the team isn't the same when Hill is off the field. But how did the 185-pound 5'10 receiver become such a monster on the field? If you ask Tyreek, it's because he is willing to do anything it takes to improve his build, flexibility, and conditioning. For Tyreek, that includes adding new workouts and philosophies to continue getting better. One of those workouts include yoga, which he does twice a week to open up his hips and glutes. Wide receivers thrive off quick twitches and fast breaks, and Tyreek attributes yoga to aiding his flexibility, which makes his routes and breaks more fluid. As frightening of a thought as that may be to opposing defensive backs, Tyreek spends each offseason focusing on different ways to improve, and it shows. On the other end of the spectrum of his weekly yoga routine is a workout that we wouldn't recommend you try at home. This insane exercise, it's called weighted Nordic hamstring curls. The intense workout requires someone to hold Tyreek's ankles while he is in a kneeling position and wearing a weighted vest and also holding a 25-pound plate. Tyreek then uses his core and his hamstrings to support his weight as he slowly leans all the way forward and returns to his kneeling position. If you can feel the burn just from hearing this, I don't blame you. The video is something you must see to believe, and we also don't blame you if your hamstrings and abs feel a little sore just from watching. The weighted Nordic hamstring curls is one of Tyreek's many weighted exercises. Hill also implements weighted walking lunges, some explosive squat jumps, holding weights and wearing his weight vest, weighted goblet squats on a balance board, a 1-minute wall sit, weighted, of course, and some weighted jumping jack fishers. I guess when you weigh as much as Tyreek, using your own body weight just simply isn't good enough. The extra explosion he gets from his weighted vest instead of holding weights when he does his exercises helps him push his body to fail more rapidly, which yields much higher results. When you run like a cheetah, you must train like an animal, with your main focus being improving speed and the limit you can push your body in order to run as state threshold runs. These sprints are a way for Tyreek to improve his body's ability to use lactate, which not only helps him run faster, but also improves his recovery. Tyreek does a minimum of 10 of these sprints and says that when you're a Kansas City Chief and playing alongside someone with a bazooka for an arm like Pat Mahomes, you need to do another 2 just in case. The 2-time first-team All-Pro spends the bulk of his speed training working on variations of sprints and agility, and when he's not doing straight-line bursts up the field, he's also running the ladder, up and down the line, side to side, while simulating a football move he'd use against a defensive back. He also runs full speed with a large medicine ball in a short burst. Oh yeah, and after all of this sprint and lateral agility exercise, he's also catching passes. A lot of the moves he does while running the ladder focus on his press coverage release. As we said, Tyreek checks in at around 185 pounds, which is kind of small for a wide receiver when you consider receivers like DK Metcalf, AJ Brown are upwards of 220. Hill puts an emphasis on strength and quickness by practicing these releases as quickly as possible while maintaining the same form he does in game. When you see Tyreek beating someone off the line, just know that it wasn't by accident. Hill may have come into the league as just a speed guy, but if his tireless workouts are an indication of work ethic we see when the cameras aren't rolling, Tyreek is one of the hardest working receivers in football, and it shows. His lateral agility is just as important as his speed, and Tyreek takes this into consideration by working on his lateral speed and dexterity, also using the ladder and cones to move as quickly as he can side to side while making his way up the training ladder, and then uses a cone at the end to simulate beating a defender while someone throws him a pass. Tyreek is a chiseled athlete, and one may think he gets that way by lifting heavy weights, but Hill opts for resistance bands and core exercises. His core and his quads may be his most targeted muscle group, and Hill does a variety of resistance band exercises for his back, chest, and shoulders while on the balance board to work his core simultaneously. And before you go thinking Tyreek is using the most resistance, from looking at his workout clips, you can see that he's not even using the 50-pound band for several of the exercises and looks to be just making sure his form is on point. He brings the heavier bands out to challenge his core and balance while working his back, triceps, and biceps, but again, still focusing on his core. You can attribute Tyreek's large quads to his kettlebell and medicine ball lunges. Hill works on his upper body more than his lower body, which makes sense for someone who makes his living running away from people. It may not be the amount of lower body exercises that is impressive, but how quickly Hill goes from one workout to the next. Hill doesn't give himself 15 seconds between workouts and is always moving between exercises. And of course, to run like a cheetah, you need the proper fuel. Tyreek claims he isn't the cleanest eater, and he says that he feasts on Popeyes, which is the majority of his meal plan. But for Tyreek, he backed down from saying he only eats Popeyes and has admitted that he also loads up on just about every vegetable you can think of, as well as avocados and non-fried foods while he's in season, as well as heapings of whole grains and healthy fats. He avoids eating too many carbs, but does indulge in cheat meals when he is able to, which includes Italian food, which is one of his favorites. Although he didn't go into specifics, Hill said he eats it all. Tyreek has expressed interest in competing in the Olympics at some point during his football career, but says he'll have to be a much healthier eater than he currently is during football season, so there may be a challenge to keep on the bulk while getting into sprinter shape. Not sure how Andy Reid would feel about his best wide receiver slimming down in season, so it's unlikely we see Hill flexing his cheetah speed on an Olympic track anytime soon. That's it for the ridiculous workout routine and, well, interesting diet of Tyreek Hill. A tireless workout warrior who loves his cheat meals but spends most of his time burning it off and can get away with it, Hill is unquestionably one of the hardest working athletes in any profession, and it shows. Well on his way to his third first-team All-Pro, Tyreek Hill is proof that what he achieves on the field, well, it starts off the field. There you have it, sports fans. We hope you all enjoyed this video. Let us know your thoughts by dropping a comment down below. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and all things football. Until next time, take care.